Today we have a very angry rant. Today we brought Klayton out of the basement again.
Oh boy,
we were talking about this the other day, Jacob. Why isn't the T-Rex given the respect it deserves, especially given that there's a lot of paleontological, I forgot
big
that
word.
Yeah, big word. Evidence that this T-Rex was actually a big deal, in the ancient world.
Yeah, so the T-Rex has been over the last, honestly, I guess since Jurassic Park 3, right? Like 2001, that was like 21 years ago. It's kind of seemed like, not only in just like movies and entertainment and media and all stuff like that, but it seems like for some reason, society is trying to take down the Tyrant King. Trying to bring down the T-Rex a level. Trying to make the T-Rex, this big macho dinosaur seem less than what it was for the last 100 years. Everybody knows that T-Rex is the most famous dinosaur. It's by far the most famous.
It's the king.
It's the king, and it seems like it's almost like the sporting kind of effect. I almost feel like, because I'm wearing my Eagles hat. Go Eagles, by the way. But it's like, it happened with like the Patriots. Now I know a lot of you people might not be football fans, but once you're like king for so long, it kind of seems like other people want to bring you down, and they don't want to respect how awesome you are and how good you are.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is a good example of that.
A lot of macho guys these days. It's a part of the movement to kind of like.
It's almost like a movement to emasculate the current alpha.
It is the alpha predator, the alpha dinosaur, but that's not acceptable these days. We got to go and have it be killed constantly, or have it lose constantly, have to have it always need help to win in like Jurassic. We got to go and just make it less cool than it used to be. And it's just really odd, like, why are people trying to make the T-Rex not cool anymore? It just is a weird trend going on right now. Yeah. Klayton, I want to let you go off, because I know you got a lot of hard opinions on this. You've been an advocate of making the T-Rex great again for a long time now, and so let it loose, man.
So here we go, man. You start with Jurassic Park 3, the Spinosaurus, which is admittedly a cool design they bring in there, but they make it kill the T-Rex immediately right off the bat. Everybody has classically always been inclined to say this is not a good fight. This was too quick. The T-Rex deserved better, damn it. When it clamps down on the Spinosaurus's neck, it's game over if we're actually talking about real life paleontological anything. But they released a book called The Ultimate Visual History of Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3. Mm-hmm. Steven Spielberg said that one of the big problems he faced with Lost World was that they had two T-Rexes, and that in his opinion, he is wrong, but in his opinion, they canceled each other out. And I just completely fake news, not true. Like, and I could put this out there too. It started in Jurassic Park 3, but even in Lost World, you had that Robert Burke was meant to be some sort of a caricature of Dr. Robert Backer, and he gets eaten by the T-Rex. Jack Horner kind of made that nudge thing because he says the T-Rex was a scavenger. BS. Mm-hmm. T-Rex, we know, he would have eaten something that was like laying on the ground. Why not?
Like every other predator, right?
Well, yeah.
Free food.
Dude, these things killed Triceratops, a dinosaur with a shield and swords on its face. Like, they're badass.
Why do you think that evolved, why do you think they evolved that? To defend them from the big giant things trying to eat them. I always thought that was a bogus claim, too. It's a scavenger. What do you think, like, a grizzly bear does? It hunts and kills, and it eats things that are already dead. They're opportunistic. They will do whatever they need to do. It's
shocking.
There's so much, like, you just look at the real world. Like, get out of your books and your little science study groups and all that crap, and just look at the real world. Take in reality, and you would understand that, like, the T-Rex is an epic dinosaur and will always be that way. And until we find something that has a bigger bone structure and I know we think that there's some predators like the gig and all that stuff that might have been bigger. The Spinosaurus might have been longer, but it doesn't matter. It's like you get a 7-foot NBA player who's a twig and he's like, his bones are like stretched and he's like, and then you put him up beside a 6'5" meathead NFL lineman. That lineman's going to kick his ass. It doesn't matter if he's big or taller,
To that point, you brought up the Giga, and as much as I don't like the fight in Jurassic Park 3, I would take it any day over what they did in Jurassic World Dominion, because that movie is, dude, why every time they put the T-Rex in look, I know people don't like Fallen Kingdom, and I agree it has lots of problems, but at least that movie didn't make it fight another bigger T-Rex.
Yeah.
Well, they've done it like 3 times. They did the Indominus Rex, they did the Giganotosaurus, they did the Spinosaurus. It's not only redundant and stupid. This is the animal on the logo, and you're making it out to be a pussy. And like every chance you get, why?
Yeah, it's not just the T-Rex. You know, this is going back to where we started this episode, to where it's bringing down the big masculine figures that have always been praised in our society.
It's defanging the badass creatures. It's like they're no longer
everywhere. We've seen it happen to Master Chief in the Halo show. We have Master Cheeks. You know, we see like Witcher getting turned into a feminine. Like I'm not trying to bash on the whole movements, and like I want everyone, like I get it. I get that, like, the whole movements and all that, but, like, there is a weird thing of turning down the big masculine meatheads. And the T-Rex is a big masculine meathead. Now, it's funny, though, because the most famous T-Rex is Sue, which is a female T-Rex. You know, you think they'd want to promote her a little bit.
And the main T-Rex in the Jurassic franchise is also related. But we're not talking about, like, the woman T-Rex. We're talking about the T-Rex as a species, right?
Yeah. Sure,
yes. So it is just weird, you know, like, in both movies and in real world, they're constantly trying to bring the T-Rex down, you know, making it look like a chicken a lot of times. I see a lot of artists, and I see the whole feather thing, and I get the science behind that, but it keeps being debunked over and over again. But yet, I still keep seeing artists make T-Rexes look like fat chickens. And
I have a theory that all they want to do is become notable, and in this day and age, the only way to do that is to kind of like be a bit of a like, you're wrong and I'm right. And I think that's why I know some people that work in paleontology that are like, dude, all these new Spinosaurus papers that are coming out, they're all bullshit. Like, they're just making stuff up to get well recognition. I don't know how true. I'm not a paleontologist myself.
Well, no, definitely not.
Especially this last one, talking about how it wasn't really an aquatic creature. Like, we're gonna go, but mark my words, we're gonna have another article come out within the next 12 months talking about how it was an aquatic creature or some bullshit. Like,
that's back and forth.
That is the issue with this the paleo world. Now, I'm gonna speak for all of us. We're not paleontologists. We didn't. Obviously, use that against us if you want to talk crap. Like, we aren't those people. That being said, when you've loved something your whole life and you study it, you kind of have something to kind of back your words up a little bit. And it's just weird to see the T-Rex done dirty like that. And regarding the paleo world,
we are fans. Like,
we're
what's up?
Super fans, like, to the point to where you figure stuff out, you know. And the paleo world, they change it every 5 years. Something changes to where, like,
or less.
Yeah, to where what we once thought was the truth is not the truth. And the fact is, these things were alive tens of millions of years ago. We do not know. We've only found so much of them. I've seen a recent kind of theory come out on the interwebs and the internet and all that from these people who usually, you know, look at bones and they look at stuff and they study stuff. And instead of just being like, hey, we found a couple dozen specimens of T-Rexes, they must all be just like these T-Rexes that we've found, they're starting to be like, maybe the T-Rex these are just average. You know, like, I'm an average guy, and, like, you know, I'm typical average height, but guess what? There's guys that are 1.5 feet taller than me, and they weigh 300 pounds more than me out there. So they're starting to say, like, the T-Rex was probably even more badass than what we've thought over the last 100 years that we've been studying them. Yeah. So it's just wild to me, you know? Very wild. And we don't see the T-Rex in anything. It's just Jurassic World Dominion. I mean, we got the Paleo doc from the Apple.
Oh, yeah.
What was that? Prehistoric Planet?
Prehistoric Planet, yeah.
Great thing. It showed a cool T-Rex. It showed the T-Rex being like a loving parent and all that. It kind of gave them a little bit of thunder. It didn't completely kill them, but the T-Rex had one episode in the whole thing.
Yeah, so like, to you guys' points, I think the T-Rex is the spotlight where it matters, you know, which is in the Jurassic franchise. It's been dwindled over time, you know, like, beginning with the Spino. And, yeah, fine, to be fair, that Spino was built like an absolute unit, sure, whatever. But, I mean, what are you doing? You're still killing a T-Rex. And the next movie, the Indominus just dump shitted on the T-Rex again, you know, needed help from the Mosasaurus, from the Raptor. Same thing in Jurassic World Dominion. The Giga basically stomped all over the T-Rex twice. No, 3 times. Okay, the first time was in the prologue.
Oh yeah.
And then and then the second one, it didn't even try. The third one, it like almost killed it. Then the Therizinosaurus came out and saved the day. I'm like, after all the evidence that we've seen so far, talking about how the T-Rex could have been bigger. T-Rex had like the craziest bite force. It was smart. That thing rivaled the chimpanzee. We've never seen that level of intelligence. I mean, I guess we kind of did against with the Therizinosaurus, how it like shoved it against the claws and everything. Yeah, but like, come on, we want to see more. We haven't done it justice yet. You know what I mean? I think it's time, and I don't know, maybe this is like wild idea. I've been wanting to spit this out. I think it's time we see a bad supervillain T-Rex in the Jurassic franchise. Like, bring it to its full glory, like it should be. Give us a smart T-Rex.
It hasn't been in its full glory since 1997 or 98, whenever Lost World came out.
Yeah,
that was
Lost
the last
World.
time that we've seen a T-Rex in any movie. I know T-Rex has been in like the goofy like Journey to the Center of the Earth and like comedic movies, but we haven't seen it be like presented in this godlike fashion. Okay, some of you here are probably here because of like the MonsterVerse and stuff. That one scene in Godzilla 2014 to where it slowly pans up and you see Godzilla and he's in the fog and the destruction and the lightning's going off and you see and then he's like and he just comes onto the screen and you're like, oh, like it's like they kind of did that with what the heck? There's so many Jurassic World 1 where like it comes out of the gate and it's like, oh my god, it's so cool, and then it proceeds to get its ass whooped.
Yeah.
And
the T-Rex,
yeah, the T-Rex when it came out. They need to in the Jurassic franchise, if they want to just make everybody happy, like you said, the T-Rex needs to come back and be the #1 dinosaur again. We don't need to bounce around with all these different things. I want to see other dinosaurs, but the T-Rex needs to respect again. I mean, make the T-Rex scary, make it threatening, but like don't make it a monster, because it's not a monster, and that's what Jurassic Park 1 captured so well, is that it was terrifying, but it's just an animal.
Another thing I want to bring up real quick is the design of the animal. As you see the movies progress, you're going to compare the T-Rex with the Spino, the T-Rex again with the Indominus. It's starting to look a little bland to me. Because now every new villain, even the Tarbosaurus from this new Camp Cretaceous crap, like it looks a lot cooler than the T-Rex. It gave him like, it's like the spiky treatment, right? I'm like, all right, cool. We already swallowed the fact that you guys are the Jurassic dinosaurs are all engineered and everything. They can make them look however the fuck they want. All right? That's just facts. Okay, how about you come up with like a new like again to the point of the Bat T-Rex, make him look all cool, give him that modern treatment you guys like giving them. I think it's time we see like a true juggernaut Bat T-Rex, because facts say that it was stronger than the Giga, it was stronger than the Spino. We can bring a real true paleo accurate T-Rex, make him look cool, give him the spikes and whatever, but like this thing will be able to crush anything. Like,
until we find a dinosaur that has thicker bones, and like we could get a paleontologist in here and they would agree with you. It's like you don't even need that though. You go type in right now, type in the T-Rex bone structure compared to a Spinosaurus and a Gig and all the other big ones. That mofo was a meathead. It looks like he was squatting like 10 times its body weight, man. He was going to the gym. The bones are so much thicker and broader.
Right.
It just means that its body was capable of that much more force. So like, it doesn't make sense. If a T-Rex bit anything, it's probably game
dead.
over.
Dead.
It's going to run away or it's going to die. It's weird to not see that. And I know in the Jurassic franchise, going back to that, I think it's time to retire Rexy because she's old.
Yes.
We can't make her bigger. Doesn't mean we need to kill her off. But if they're going to kill her, they need to stop pretending that they're going to kill her and try to make, whoa, it's the WWE, she's coming back. Because you can't keep doing that. Just let her go retire, let her sit down, have a nice last few years of her life, relax, stop harassing the poor animal, and let's make a new T-Rex. You know, we have all these new studies coming in to where they're thinking that there might have been a T-Rex that was almost 60 feet long and weighed almost 30,000 pounds, guys. Like, they're putting more science and more thought together. Like, T-Rexes were even bulkier than the ones that we see in the movie. They got that new rib stomach protection, because I went and seen Sue in like the museum, the big famous T-Rex a few years back, and it was epic to see. And it was right after they had the science discovery to where like the T-Rex like has like a belly protection of like a second row of like ribs almost. It was very interesting. Yeah, like a breastplate, which makes it even stronger, which pretty much means it's a walking tank, a literal walking tank. And
also, why do we always have to see female tyrannosaurs? We've seen males like in the Lost World.
I know why they do that a little bit. It's because in the T-Rex world, from the studies, although they're completely don't matter anymore because we just found Scotty, which is I think
that's the bigger one than
Sue, or I think a little bit bigger. For as long as I could remember, there was always this idea. Now it's not accurate science because remember we weren't alive 65, 70 million years ago. We will never truly know. It doesn't matter how much you can go to school for 50 years, and guess what? You're still guessing. Until we go back and see an actual dinosaur, we don't know. But for the longest time, they thought that male T-Rexes were smaller than the females. I don't know where they came up with that claim. I guess they looked at some. I mean, it happens in our natural world sometimes. You know, there are females, like in the reptile world, and I don't think even in the bird world. Maybe some in the bird world. I don't know for sure. I'm not super.
It doesn't matter though because these are genetic clones, and also on top of that, what's so like you use Scotty as a paleontological example, but we've seen the same color, like muted brown T-Rex, like over and over again. The Lost World Jurassic Park, man, I'll never forget being a kid watching that movie, and when the two T-Rexes attacked that trailer, when the green one put its head down and had all those scars on its face, my dad was like, "That's the male," and it was like oh shit, you know, like fucking cool, like. Yeah. And by the way, these things were cannibalistic. Like they kill and eat each other. Here, you want to do another dinosaur fight? Do a T-Rex versus a T-Rex and have one fucking get it. Just like annihilate that guy.
Yeah.
Something cool and different. And also, one other point about the whole defanging of Tyrannosaurus, you'll notice that after the Lost World, they didn't even try to include any sort of animalistic behavioral like patterns in T-Rex. It just kind of shows up. I mean, in Fallen Kingdom, it does kill the Carnotaurus and stuff, but it's still just like, oh, it's T-Rex. You know, like we don't learn anything. Lost World, it's like they're parental, they're territorial, they chase stuff down. They are very much so doing things outside of just hunting. But even when they are hunting, they're fucking cool. And
definitely. It seems like since Lost World, we haven't got a more animalistic. It's just been like the T-Rex. It's on, like you said, it's on the logo. So we're gonna have it come in from time to time and try to be the hero, but then proceed to make it.
Here, you want this? You want this, don't you? Well, no, you want
to see the T-Rex.
You want Spinosaurus.
This is your childhood hero, right? Look how cool it is. Well, guess what? We're gonna go and have it get its ass whooped now.
I'm so thankful for you. Thank you. You know, like no.
Science says it's awesome, right? So make it awesome. We need to see it again. It was a little bit sad that I've noticed with Dominion, kind of since Fallen Kingdom. Now I'm not going to get into that if you like the movies or not, but I've seen a sad decline in like people caring about dinosaurs over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Or so.
Well, remember when the first Jurassic World. When the first one came out, they had Ark Survival Evolved alongside it, and it was also the birth of the MonsterVerse, and there were a lot of people interested to see what they could do. Unfortunately, you are right, when Fallen Kingdom came out, there's just people like, they're just like creatures running around on the screen, CGI, and like...
The respect for dinosaurs is going away, and I think a lot of it has to do with...
These last two movies?
The last two movies, but also the treatment
or the last three.
You know, the T-Rex.
Camp Cretaceous is also stupid.
I mean, the Jurassic franchise is going down itself, but I'm kind of thinking even beyond that, and just dinosaurs in general. I see people in comments that just, I seen this one comment when Dominion was coming out, and it stuck with me. I don't remember exactly the wording because it was a long time ago. But someone was like, no matter how hard you're trying to make dinosaurs cool, guys, it's just not, like, I'm over the dinosaur thing. And it's like, how can you be over... It's not like they're zombies. It's not like it was a fad of, like, entertainment. Like, because, we went through, like, a 10-year span to where it was, like, a zombie movie or game coming out, like, every month. But now it's like people are treating dinosaurs and the T-Rex like, oh, it's just a movie character. We don't care about it. And, like, the whole idea is, like, we're supposed to be getting, like, the younger generation into these animals. Like, we're supposed to this is the betterment of mankind, right? To learn more and to have the next level of researchers come into the fold. But whatever the decisions that they're doing are just hurting that, right?
They're horrible. They're not giving the T-Rex justice, and they have all they need from the T-Rex to make it into a character that you can actually follow in the story. This thing was like chimp intelligence, if not more. There's been countless movies where you follow monkeys around, right? And like, Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes.
Dustin checks in from a long time ago. Like, you actually followed an ape around, and the T-Rex was just as smart as one. Why not give it a character, give it like some, a story arc, that matters, right?
Like
let
the
the
King Kong story.
Yes,
arc
exactly,
almost.
like a King Kong story. This thing was as smart. It's capable of doing things, plotting things out. Having a character, recognizing humans. I'm sure. Like, you can do lots of really cool things with this dinosaur. But you just won't do it, and especially now that kids are more empathetic these days, and everything's about feelings and everything. Give the freaking T-Rex some feelings, some character, some some anger issues or some shit. Like, you can do that.
I want to see the T-Rex just sulking in the dark woods, just being like, "Gosh, my life sucks," like.
Like, you can do a ton of shit with
Jurassic
this.
World movie.
Go for it, Klayton.
Well, there could be imagine if we actually follow a T-Rex grow up or something with that accelerated
cool.
growth rate. He's getting like pushed around by some of the other dinosaurs, and then by the time he gets like big and full grown, he just fucking destroys everything in his path.
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean, they could go in. I know they're talking about like rebooting the franchise from here or whatever in the future. If they went and made, they can't call it Jurassic Park 17 at this point. So if they went and just been like, Jurassic Park, The Return of the King, Lord of the Rings fans out there, like, I'm just
Tell 'em how
saying,
it's
like,
done.
bring it back, like The Return of the King, because if you keep wankifying the T-Rex, it's gonna turn off kids. It is the number one. I know you're trying really hard to make other dinosaurs seem cool right now. I get that, but it's never gonna change. I think. The T-Rex is always going to be the number one dinosaur. It's always going to be every little kid. The T-Rex! It's always going to be every little kid's favorite thing, and just like use that weapon. Use that tool,
I agree with you completely, but the most ironic thing they don't understand is you would tell that to them, and Universal would probably be like, "Oh, but we've done that before. We did that in Jurassic Park and the Lost World." But it's like, yeah, okay. You know what you've done over the last 3 or 4 movies, man? Like, you say you've done T-Rex before, but how many times have you done the bigger dinosaur and you make them fight and you make T-Rex get its ass kicked? And at a certain point in time, everybody's going to look at like if Jurassic Park 7 gets a trailer, or Jurassic World 4, whatever they want to call it, and it's DeWanda Wise flying around in her plane like, I got to go save Littlefoot's mom. And like, there's like, she's looking down like, oh no, the T-Rex has to fight the Carcharodontosaurus, and you're like, oh no, what's gonna happen here? It's like, no, fuck that, I'm done with it. Everybody, the fans don't like this. They don't want to see this, and normal people are tired of it too. Like, why can't you just do a movie? Here's what I would do, dude. You throw in Carcharodontosaurus, Giganotosaurus, Spinosaurus, Acrocanthosaurus, whatever you want, and then have a minute-long fight scene where the T-Rex just destroys all of them, and it's a new T-Rex, and it's a big, bad, like, Turok dinosaur hunter style king, like, badass.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and then the whole movie is the T-Rex fucking shit up, and everybody's like, we gotta run. It's fucking Scarface T-Rex.
Yeah, I like that. Just imagine that. It's beyond just the Jurassic franchise. It is so it's so easy. Like, I'm not okay. Maybe it's deeper than that, but like, to me, it seems really easy to know what the fans want in all these different franchises.
They say it vocally all the time.
If you started a Jurassic movie off, I think they intended to start off Dominion showing the T-Rex die, but they cut that scene. Remember the little back in time thing that they had, but then it wasn't even in the movie, and you're like, why did you waste millions of dollars on making that then? Because it was going to be probably the beginning, and they were like, should we really start the movie with the T-Rex being killed instantly again? Probably not.
Yeah. No, so that's because nobody likes it. That is in the extended cut, which is slightly better, but it's still like such a mess of a movie. And again, why at this point, why would you come to see a Jurassic World movie if you like T-Rex? Honest question.
It's just like constantly.
What's going to happen?
It's constantly having your fanhood kicked in the balls. And, in the new movie, like you said, if you start a movie off and it's this big thug T-Rex and it she, whatever, destroys like all these other dinosaurs, and then the screen pans out, and he's just like, blah! You know, and you're just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, I would be like,
let's go. Let's go. You know, like, okay, this is the movie we're getting. I'm excited. We're gonna see this champ out here, this like Apollo Creed, this, you know, Mr. T freaking.
Yeah, I'm gonna go throw more money at them. You hear that, you dickhead executives? You like money? Make T-Rex better.
It seems so easy. It's so easy to
You
just
heard it
rile
here.
people up. It's just like anything. You know, I made the Master Chief's reference earlier. They went and wankified Master Chief, pretty much this sci-fi human equivalent of a T-Rex. This big, manly, perfect thing that's a badass. And if they would have started it off, Luke Skywalker, if they would have started it off with him just going like all these cool things, they kind of did, but they threw in all.
I mean, people went wild when Skywalker came back in Mandalorian. I mean, did you see that? Like,
it was cool. It was the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
the hero came back and he was a boss.
Dude,
he came back and he was
that.
a badass. Yeah, it is so. People were crying. It wasn't even sad. They were just like, "Holy crap! My childhood hero is being given respect." You know, like, why are we in this modern day phase of trying to ruin our childhood heroes to make them less?
It's the king of the dinosaurs. Like, what the? Like, this makes no sense. Like, why
until we find a 80-foot tall behemoth thing that is better than the T-Rex, it is the king. Stop trying to dethrone it because it's the number one, and you want to have the underdog come into the story. You know, like, it doesn't make any sense in this world, and the T-Rex is a perfect leading example to, like, the industry needs to get its shit together when it comes to stop ruining the badasses of old because you want to make change for the sake of change. Like, the T-Rex will always be number one, and make it that way.
The most ironic part about this is both Jurassic Park and World have quotes that are just against this corporate decision making. Like in Jurassic Park, it's like you were so preoccupied with whether or not you didn't stop to think if you should. And in Jurassic World, it's even more abrasive. The Hoskins guy is like, this is going to happen with or without you. Progress always wins, man. And Chris Pratt's like, maybe progress should lose for once. And it's like, yeah, maybe it should. Maybe you should leave the T-Rex alone and make it cool again. Like, come on.
Man, that's
they don't listen, man.
They told themselves what to do in the story, yet they don't.
Yeah, I know that they don't do it. Yeah.
Very weird. Very weird. But yeah, man. I mean, in the future, the T-Rex, I hope to see it come back as the true king or queen of the dinosaurs, however you want to look at it.
Just make it cool.
Just make it cool. Make it amazing. Make it, dare I say, great again. Right, Klayton?
Yes, I agree.
Make the T-Rex great again.
Make the T-Rex great again.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting close to the end of the angry rant here. Going forward, Klayton, do you think that the next movie will basically, like, if it does happen within the next 4 or 5 years, you think that will set the tone for the next wave of Jurassic movies, or do they still have time to fix it? You know,
I'm very interested in what they do, because there's all these rumors about how DeWanda Wise is the one that they want to promote as the protagonist, which you kind of have to rewrite her, in my opinion, for her to be Jurassic. I mean, she's more of like a Han Solo at this point, but like. In course correcting, I think it's possible. The biggest hurdle we have to go through is whether or not they want to do it. And I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of
it made over $1 billion again. So, like, obviously there is still some money, but it definitely was showing that it's starting to go downhill a little bit. And, like,
especially critically, it's like
it was
the worst reviewed Jurassic film.
I don't know what they're gonna do. I think the only way to kind of save not only the T-Rex but the Jurassic Park franchise is to completely do a 180 on it and act like the Jurassic World trilogy was its own thing and move away from it, because those movies, I enjoy them. I stick with this. There's no such thing as a bad Jurassic movie. Now, some are worse than others. Klayton, calm down, Klayton. Calm down. I don't really like
the teapot,
but I don't think it's a bad movie, you know. So, well,
look, to your point, I'll let you finish. But what did everyone say their favorite scene was in Fallen Kingdom? Like, remember that opening scene? What they do with the T-Rex in that made him cool, at least for that scene.
Cool.
Yeah. Imagine a whole movie like that. I'd be okay.
That's what they need to do. They need to bring it down a level. Jurassic movies need to, and the T-Rex needs to stop pretending like it's this animated human character. They need to stop pretending to be Marvel. They need to stop throwing in all this cheese, all this useless stuff that doesn't even make sense. Dinosaurs are scary in real life, and that's all that matters. You don't need to turn them into movie monsters. You don't need to have a raptor crying. You don't need to have a T-Rex doing the WWE. Oh, I'm losing. Oh, watch out! we don't need to see the dramatic comeback. I want to see a big 50-foot, 15-foot tall freaking monster coming out there, animal monster. It looks like a monster, but like an animal that is massive and do its thing. Like in a King Kong story, like what Joe said. Give it some value, give it some worth, give it some reasons to like make people get emotional for caring about it. Yeah. And that's really it.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. This was Joe.
This was Jacob.
This is Klayton.
And we'll be back 4 years later after they fuck up the